Hey everyone, it's Miss Amy from Camden Public Library, and today we are going to make our own homemade wrapping paper inspired by artist Alyssa Burke. And I will try and put a link down below, and you can use all kinds of different things. Handmade wrapping paper I have done before, but it was drawn wrapping paper. This is painted and printed and drawn and stamped and marked and splattered, and I absolutely love it. So this is the backside of packing paper. This is just a piece of large paper that I had. This is another large piece. This is a little heavier weight piece of paper. You could use brown paper bag. You could buy a roll of just blank butcher paper or whatever. You can use whatever you have. Parchment paper actually works really good. If you have a roll of parchment paper, you could use that. Freezer paper is another thing that works really good. Go figure. Because it holds the paint and it's thin, which is great. So let's get started. And you can see that there's all kinds of things. So I've done some writing, I've done some mark making, I did some printing, I made a rubber stamp out of cardboard, a birthday stamp, and then stamped it. We did some splattering on this one and smearing. You could smear with a credit card or a brush. I did some rolling with a roller with bumps and stuff, so you could do something like that. So yeah, let's just get started. So I'm just gonna start by, I'm gonna make a Valentine's one. So I'm just gonna start by just putting some paint onto my piece of paper. And this is just acrylic, just simple, inexpensive acrylic paint. I'm just gonna put some around. I'm gonna do some, like a creamy color too, just to kind of put that out there, like that. And then, I don't have a credit card, but I had a piece of stiff cardboard. So I'm just gonna use that. And I'm just gonna start smearing it because I want to cover the whole thing and I love the way it looks. I wanna go right to the end. Sometimes over smear is a good thing, and sometimes it's not, because you really want to cover it, but it just looks really cool when it's smeared around. I want to get most of it covered so that it will dry. So I'm just moving this around so we get it. I'm moving it around so we get it on there, because I want to make sure the whole thing gets covered. Now, what you can do, good, I'm going to leave it just like that. Ooh, get some of that off there. Okay, so now you can see, wow, I really like that a lot. Now, I'm going to give this a chance to dry. And that way, then we can go in and do the next layers. So what I'm going to do next is, this is a simple paper towel roll, and you could do rings. It's a great little printing thing. You just dip it in. But I also, if you take a paper towel roll and you pinch the bottom, and then you kind of roll the top in, you get a great heart shape. So I'm going to be using that because I want to make this a Valentine's paper since Valentine's Day is coming up. So I've got that, you can see. And I went ahead and made a cardboard little stamp. Really super quick. I just cut out a heart out of regular corrugated cardboard, and then I taped a little handle on it because it just makes it easier to print. So 2 different things that you can do, and then you can do a straight roll. So let's try it. Now that my paper is all dry, I'm going to go at the stamping. So I have just a piece of paper plate, and I'm using this stamp that I made out of cardboard with a handle. So I'm going to put some red down just so that I have that available to me. I'm going to dab a little, put it on to this, onto the heart, like that. And then print it. And it doesn't matter if the whole thing doesn't come out. It's just about getting some fun marks on your paper. And zoom out a little so you can see. I'm going to shift it so that I can do some that pop off the edge. And you could use a rubber stamp if you had one, but you can also make your own, which is what I did here. And I'm just printing all over the place, just like this. And I did some solids. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back at it with that paper towel or the toilet paper roll. Okay, so there's some hearts. So I'm just going to put that off to the side. Okay, so I've got that off to the side. Now I'm going to use this heart shape that I made out of the toilet paper roll, and I'm going to use a white, like a creamy color. So I've got some white here. I'm just going to kind of spread it out so that I can dip into it. There we go. And then I'm going to dip into here and print. I didn't quite get the whole thing there. And I'm just going to print those all over like that. I can overlap. I'm going to do some that go off the paper. See, I'm just putting those, and I keep the paper like that. And it's super simple, and it's so pretty. Love it. Very, very cool. So now I have 2 different kinds of prints, and I could even go back in and write love, or I can just leave it just like this. So I hope you guys try this at home. Making your own homemade wrapping paper is so much fun, and we all probably have lots of paper bags too that we could use, or scraps of paper. Happy creating, happy crafting. Miss Amy.